Welcome back. Today I will discuss backup, configuration, installation. That's important, but you're only as good as your last backup. This is a short video, only 12 minutes. The first video I'm going to discuss backup done manually with built-in Windows Server feature. It's free. It's requires a dedicated drive, and that's the first thing we're going to set up. So before you set up any backup on the server, identify which domain controller you want to run backup on. You don't have to back up them all. You can just back up one to preserve your domain in case you lose it and you have to restore the entire thing. You can, if you want to back up every single domain controller, but it's just a waste of resources. Okay, first, open your domain controller, and we're going to create a virtual drive. This, just for the purpose of this exercise, I'm only creating a small 50 gigabyte drive, dynamic drive, which means it's going to expand as needed. This drive will be attached to my VM. It is possible to back up to a shared drive, so you can detach it and attach to another domain controller. I'm not going to play those games. I'm going to show you next time when I discuss Druva, how you can back up your entire VM with the attached drive and restore it. Okay, so on the screen, I'm creating a new VM. Yep, just always inspect to make sure the drive is free of any corruption, or at least it's just not going to spit out an error message. Start for VM. So once you create something outside of Windows, inside of Hyper-V, you have to acknowledge it, which means you have to activate and initialize the drive inside Windows. But I'm actually going to purposely make a mistake. I'm going to try to set up a backup without initializing the drive first. So let's put two Windows. This is a simple process. You set up the drive, you install the feature. Once you have the feature installed, uh, schedule your daily backup, or I don't know, as often as you want. And from time to time, you should verify the backup was successful. So the next three videos, I'm going to focus on taking the backup, and then I'm going to show you how to restore data from all three backups. As always, go to Windows Manager and look for features. The name of the feature you're trying to install is called Server Backup. Next. And we're not installing any roles, we're installing features. Just another next, and it's somewhere closer to the bottom. Let's go Windows Server Backup. Yep. Click Next and install it. It's installing in a real time. I'm not skipping anything, just to show you it's a very simple, quick installation. It's built in, so there's no need to download anything. And remember, you're always as good as your last backup. This is probably the most important thing in your career, to make sure you have the backup that actually works. You should test it from time to time to make sure you're able to restore. You really don't want to try to restore when you really need it, and then you find out it doesn't work. Oh my God, you don't want to be in that situation. Features installed, just reboot. I'm going to shut down. Okay, I just rebooted the machine. I'm going to start my VM, and let's schedule the backup. So I'll schedule a daily backup at 9 p.m., and then I'm going to try to use the first instance of that backup scheduled to manually run the backup. You'll see step by step. So first, I'm going to go to my backup feature installed and configure the first schedule backup. Okay, so this is my drive. I'm purposely not initializing, I'm not putting it online. I want to show you what will happen so you don't have to make that mistake. Okay, you're looking for Windows Server backup. That's it. You can back up manually. If you want to back up one time, don't bother with scheduling backup. But if you want to schedule and make sure it runs every day, the server has to be running for the backup to run. I can't believe it I'm saying that, but yeah, for the sake of completeness, you can run different types of backups. Just take the full backup, every single object that doesn't rely on another backup. Because if you lose one of those backups in the hierarchy, in the tree, then you really have no backup. So I know it takes a lot of space, so it's up to you. I mean, space is cheap these days. So if I advise against taking differential backup unless there's a reason for that. Manual at least. With Druva, I'm going to show you how it works. But for manual, now you can back up individual components. I would like to have a complete backup. It's not a lot of space for my bare bone domain controller. There's nothing really on it. Your situation may be different. All right, these are your options. So I'm going to back up to a dedicated drive, the drive that's attached to my VM, the one I just created. Now you have to see it. If you don't see it here, then something's wrong. Okay. You can read, so I'm not going to read for you. Okay. And I'm getting ready to, yes, I'm using VSS. Okay. And it's not able to find my disk. It's not able to find my disk because, as you saw a second ago, it is connected but not initialized, and it's not online. So first you put it online, like I did a second ago. I'm doing right now. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to have to initialize the drive. Initializing will create a partition or a volume. So I'm just going to leave it as GPT. I mean, for VMs that small, doesn't really matter. Now, so the drive is now online and initialized. And now it will be formatted by Windows Server program because it's not going to be visible. You'll see in a second. And that's pretty much all. That's all you need to know. Let's try to take the backup. So let's schedule one more time. Again, dedicated drive, which is attached. You can have a volume, so a separate volume, or maybe even virtual, and then a network shared drive, so you can use NAS or some other solution you want. Yes, this works. Looks pretty much the same as last time. Yeah, only this time works. So it's formatting the drive. It's trying to format. It is done. So the drive is ready. Now I can wait until the schedule backup kicks in, or I can just manually run it one time to confirm everything works. Okay, so that's my volume. And I'm backing up everything. Okay. It's backing up right now. Let's see if I'm able to access this drive. Okay, it's not listed, it's not mapped, but let's go to disk management and see if I can find the drive listed there. It's running its backup. Okay, yes, I can see, okay, this is my This is my virtual disk. I have all these actions I can take, except I cannot access it. Cannot be explored for a very good reason. We don't want anyone to access the data. Anyone other than authorized people. And don't forget, the backup is holding pretty much everything. Holding passwords, I mean hashes. It's holding, um, usernames, the metadata. For security purposes, this is not a good idea to expose that kind of data. So the total storage consumption is approximately 17, 18 gigs. So we're almost there. 15, 16, and it's almost done. Yep, it's completed. That's it. This is pretty much all you need to do to back up. Of course, you're supposed to test it. You're supposed to test it, make sure. Well, Windows will verify kind of more or less if the backup was successful. If it detects any issues during the backup, they will be listed. But the true test is to restore your AD from the backup. We're going to do that not next. In 2, 3 videos, I'm going to start restoring step by step. I'll show you. All right, um, don't forget to subscribe. And next thing I'm going to focus on, it will be backing up the entire virtual machine, not just Active Directory. And the third video will show you how to back up to Azure from your Windows to Azure and how to restore from Azure. It's actually um, pretty good idea. Um, it's a good idea when you once the backup is taken, you can take a look at the drive and inspect the drive, make sure everything is okay. Other than that, see you next time.